My beloved child, a decree was issued in the courts of heaven concerning everything you have been carrying on your shoulders. Every burden you placed at my feet weeks ago, months ago, perhaps even years ago, yet somehow picked back up in moments of panic. Every promise I whispered over your life that you believed for a season before doubt crept back in. Every situation you officially surrendered to me, only to take back control when things did not unfold according to your timeline. The verdict is final. The decision is irreversible. You are no longer authorized to carry what I have already taken from your hands. The anxiety you feel when you lie awake replaying scenarios is not vigilance, it is theft. You are stealing back from me what I purchased with blood, what I claimed with authority, what I sealed with my word that cannot be broken. I need you to understand something that will change how you walk through the coming weeks. When you gave me that situation, when you prayed that prayer of surrender, when you said the words out loud or whispered them in the secret place of your heart, I did not file it away as a request pending review. I did not put it on a waiting list. I did not mark it for future consideration. I took it fully, completely, irrevocably. The moment you released it into my hands, it transferred from your jurisdiction into mine. It moved from the natural realm where you were struggling to manage it into the supernatural realm where I operate outside of human limitation. And yet somehow, in the days or weeks that followed, you started reaching back for it. Not intentionally, not consciously, but in the quiet moments when fear whispers louder than faith, you began trying to co-manage what I already own. Let me show you what happens when you trust me without reservation, when you actually leave in my hands what you placed there, when you stop spinning in confusion trying to figure out outcomes that are none of your business because they are my business. I become your shepherd in the truest sense of that word. Not just a title you sing about in worship songs, not just a comforting image on a greeting card, but an actual active daily reality where I lead you to places of nourishment that you would never find on your own. Green pastures are not random. They do not appear by accident. A shepherd does not stumble upon them while wandering aimlessly. He knows exactly where they are because he surveyed the land. He planned the route. He protected those pastures from predators and drought and anything that would make them unsafe or unproductive. When I tell you that I am leading you to green pastures, I am telling you that there is a specific place of provision, peace, and abundance that I have already prepared for you. It has your name on it. It is protected. It is thriving. And I am walking you directly toward it, even when the path does not make sense to your natural mind. But here is the problem. Here is what blocks you from experiencing what I have already arranged. You keep trying to navigate yourself. You keep pulling out the map and arguing with my directions. You keep stopping mid-journey to analyze whether we are going the right way, whether this is taking too long, whether you should have arrived by now. And every time you do that, every time you shift from trust into analysis, you drain yourself of the very strength you need for the journey. You were never designed to carry the weight of outcomes. You were designed to walk in obedience, to follow my voice, to keep your eyes on me instead of on the obstacles surrounding the path. When you take back the burden of figuring everything out, when you lie awake at night running through scenario after scenario, when you exhaust yourself trying to control what only I can control, you do not arrive at solutions. You arrive at depletion. I am speaking directly to that thing right there. The one you have been turning over in your mind for days, maybe weeks. The situation that wakes you up in the middle of rest with a jolt of panic. The relationship you cannot fix no matter how hard you try. The financial pressure that feels like it is crushing you slowly. The health issue that terrifies you every time you think about it. The decision you need to make, but every option feels wrong. The dream that feels like it is dying, and you do not know if you should fight for it or let it go. I am telling you, as the one who holds all authority in heaven and on earth, that you are not responsible for resolving it. You are responsible for trusting me with it. Those are two entirely different assignments. One will destroy you, the other will deliver you. You cannot manufacture trust through effort. Trust is not something you build by trying harder. Trust is what happens when you finally get exhausted enough from trying to control everything that you collapse into my arms and discover I was holding you the entire time. That moment you are afraid of. That moment when you let go completely and stop striving. That is not the moment you fall. That is the moment you finally land in the place you were supposed to be all along. Resting in me. I know what rest feels like to you at times. It feels irresponsible. It feels like giving up. It feels like you are abandoning your post, neglecting your duty, failing to do your part. But that is the lie that keeps you trapped in exhaustion. Rest is not passivity. Rest is trust in action. Rest is the most powerful statement of faith you can make, because it declares that you believe I am who I say I am, that I can do what I say I can do, and that I care about what concerns you more than you could ever care about it yourself. Let me take you back to a moment in Scripture that most people read quickly without catching the weight of it. David wrote that he shall not want, because the Lord is his shepherd. Not he might not want. Not he hopes he will not want. He shall not want. That is a statement of absolute certainty. But notice what comes before that certainty. The Lord is my shepherd. The confidence in the outcome is rooted entirely in the identity of the one leading him. David did not say he shall not want because he is smart enough to figure things out. He did not say he shall not want because he has a good plan. He said he shall not want because of who is shepherding him. Everything rises and falls on that one truth. If you have the right shepherd, you will end up in the right place. If you have the right guide, you will not get lost no matter how confusing the path looks. If you have the right provider, you will not lack what you need, even when you cannot see where it is coming from. And then David says something that reveals the secret to walking in that kind of confidence. He makes me lie down in green pastures. Did you catch that? He makes me. Not he invites me. Not he suggests I consider it. He makes me lie down. Because here is what I know about you that you do not always know about yourself. You will not rest unless I make you. You will not stop unless I intervene. You will run yourself into the ground trying to manage everything, fix everything, control everything, until your body or your mind or your emotions force you to stop. And by then, you have done so much damage to yourself that it takes twice as long to recover. So sometimes, in my mercy, I make you lie down before you destroy yourself. I close doors you were trying to force open. I remove options you were obsessing over. I put you in a position where you have no choice but to trust me because every other option has been taken off the table. And you think it is punishment. You think I am withholding something from you, but I am actually protecting you from yourself. The green pastures are not just about location, they are about condition. Green means alive, growing, flourishing. It means there is water nearby because nothing stays green in a drought. It means the soil is rich because you cannot fake that kind of growth in barren ground. When I lead you to green pastures, I am leading you to a place where everything you need to thrive is already present. You are not going to have to beg for it. You are not going to have to strive for it. You are not going to have to convince me to provide it. It is already there. The pasture is already green. I prepared it before you arrived, and all you have to do is lie down in it and receive what I have already grown for you. But here is where most of my children miss it. They get to the green pasture and they do not lie down. They stand at the edge, analyzing it, questioning it, wondering if it is really for them, wondering if there is a catch, wondering if they should keep looking for something better. And they starve in the presence of abundance because they cannot bring themselves to receive what they did not earn. Let me say this as clearly as I can. You will never earn my provision. You will never deserve my blessing. You will never be good enough to merit my favor. And that is exactly the point. Grace means you get what you do not deserve. Mercy means you do not get what you do deserve. And my love for you is not based on your performance. It is based on my character. I am good whether you are good or not. I am faithful whether you are faithful or not. I am committed to your well-being because of who I am, not because of who you are. So when I lead you beside still waters, I am not taking you there so you can admire them from a distance. I am taking you there so you can drink, so you can be refreshed, so you can let the peace that surpasses understanding wash over the chaos in your mind. Still waters are not stagnant. They are calm, deep, quiet. They are the opposite of the whitewater rapids you have been trying to navigate in your own strength. You have been fighting the current for so long that you forgot what it feels like to simply float, to be held by something stronger than yourself, to stop thrashing and let the water carry you. That is what trust looks like. Not passive, not careless, but confident in the one who controls the waters. He restores my soul. Not he might restore it if I pray hard enough. Not he will consider restoring it if I get my act together. He restores my soul. Present tense. Active. Ongoing. Because here's the truth about walking with me. You are going to get depleted. You are going to pour yourself out. You are going to give and serve and love and invest until you feel like there is nothing left. And in those moments, you have a choice. You can try to restore yourself through distractions, through escapes, through quick fixes that numb the pain but do not heal the wound. Or you can come to me and let me do what only I can do. Restore what was lost. Rebuild what was broken. Replenish what was emptied. I do not just patch you up and send you back out. I restore you to the original design. I bring you back to who you were before the world got its hands on you. Before disappointment taught you to lower your expectations. Before betrayal taught you to guard your heart. Before failure taught you to play it safe. He leads me in paths of righteousness for his name's sake. Not for your sake. Not because you earned it. Not because you were so good that you deserve to walk in blessing. For his name's sake. Because my reputation is tied to your outcome. Because when people see your life, they are supposed to see my faithfulness. When they watch how you navigate storms, they are supposed to see my peace. When they observe how you handle opposition, they are supposed to see my strength. You are not just living your life. You are carrying my name. And I will not let my name be put to shame by leaving you stranded, by abandoning you mid-process, by failing to keep the promises I made over you. So even when you are unfaithful, I remain faithful. Even when you doubt, I remain sure. Even when you stumble, I keep leading. Because this is not about you proving yourself worthy. This is about me proving myself faithful. And then the psalm shifts. Up until that point, David has been talking about me in third person. He does this. He leads me. He restores me. But then something changes. Even though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for you are with me. Suddenly it is not he anymore. It is you. Because when you walk through the valley, when you face the thing that terrifies you, when death itself casts its shadow across your path, the theology becomes personal. The doctrine becomes relationship. The idea of God becomes the presence of God. And that shift, from knowing about me to knowing me, from believing I exist to experiencing that I am with you, that shift changes everything. Notice he did not say if I walk through the valley. He said even though. Because the valley is not a possibility. It is a certainty. You are going to face darkness. You are going to walk through seasons where you cannot see the way forward. You are going to encounter shadows that make you question everything you thought you knew about me, about yourself, about how life works. And in those moments, the question is not whether you will go through the valley. The question is whether you will trust that I am with you in it. The valley of the shadow of death is not the valley of death itself. It is the shadow, which means death is near enough to cast a shadow, but it has no authority to touch you. The threat is present, but the power is absent, because I am standing between you and everything that wants to destroy you. I will fear no evil, not because there is no evil, not because the danger is not real, but because you are with me. The absence of fear is not based on the absence of threat. It is based on the presence of God. You have been trying to eliminate every possible danger from your life, trying to build walls high enough and thick enough that nothing can touch you, trying to control every variable so that you never have to face uncertainty. And you are exhausted because it is impossible. You cannot make yourself safe, but you can trust that I am with you. and my presence is greater than any threat you will ever face. The evil is real, but I am more real. The enemy is active, but I am more active. The darkness is present, but I am the light that darkness cannot overcome. Your rod and your staff, they comfort me. The rod is for protection. The staff is for guidance. One is a weapon against anything that would harm you. One is a tool to gently correct your course when you start to wander, and both are in my hands. You do not have to defend yourself. You do not have to fight every battle. You do not have to prove every point or answer every accusation or correct every lie spoken against you. I have a rod, and I know how to use it. I know when to strike and when to simply stand as a barrier. I know when to go to war on your behalf and when to let you see that the battle was already won before it started. And when you start to drift, when you get distracted by something shiny on the side of the path, when you begin to wander toward danger because you do not recognize it yet, I have a staff. I will pull you back, not to punish you, not to shame you, but to keep you on the path that leads to life. You prepare a table before me in the presence of my enemies. Let that sink in. I do not wait until the enemies are gone. I do not wait until the threat is neutralized. I do not wait until you are safely out of danger. I prepare a feast right there, right in the middle of the battlefield, right in full view of everything that wants to destroy you, because I want them to see that they have no power over my provision for you. I want them to watch while I feed you, strengthen you, restore you. I want them to know that their presence does not intimidate me, and their threats do not change my plans for you. You are going to eat in the presence of your enemies. You are going to be blessed while they watch. You are going to thrive in the exact season they predicted would break you. You anoint my head with oil. That is consecration. That is setting apart. That is marking you as mine in a way that everyone can see. The anointing is not just a feeling. It is a visible, tangible sign that you belong to me and you are under my protection. And it makes the enemy furious because he knows what it means. He knows that once I have marked you, once I have claimed you, once I have anointed you for purpose, he has already lost. He can harass you, but he cannot have you. He can attack you, but he cannot destroy you. He can delay you, but he cannot derail you. Because the anointing on your life is the signature of heaven, and it cannot be erased by hell. My cup overflows. Not my cup is half full. Not my cup has just enough. My cup overflows. That means there is more than you need, more than you can contain, more than you can even use for yourself. The overflow is intentional. It is so you can give to others from the abundance I give to you. It is so you never have to operate from a place of lack or scarcity or fear that there will not be enough. When your cup overflows, you stop hoarding, you stop clutching, you stop living in survival mode. You start living in generosity because you know the source never runs dry. Surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life. Not maybe, not hopefully, surely. That is a guarantee. Goodness is not just coming toward you in the future. It is following you. It is tracking you down. It is hunting you with the same intensity that the enemy once hunted you. And mercy is right there with it. Because you are going to need both. You are going to need the goodness to remind you that I am for you. And you are going to need the mercy to cover you when you fail, when you fall, when you make the wrong choice, when you say the wrong thing, when you hurt the people you love. Goodness and mercy are not passive. They are aggressive in their pursuit of you. They are relentless. And they are going to follow you every single day for the rest of your life. Not because you earned it, but because I assigned them to you. And I will dwell in the house of the Lord forever. That is the final destination. That is the ultimate promise. Not that you will visit me occasionally when you feel spiritual. Not that you will check in with me when things get hard. But that you will dwell, live, remain, abide in my house, in my presence, forever. Because that is what you were created for. Not to chase blessings, not to accumulate stuff, not to build a name for yourself, but to be with me. And everything else, every provision, every protection, every promise in that entire psalm flows out of that one reality. When you dwell in my house, when you live in my presence, when you make me your home, you get everything that comes with being part of my household. So let me bring this back to where we started. The thing you are worried about, the situation you keep trying to control, the outcome you are terrified will not happen. I am asking you to trust me with it, not because you feel like it, not because it makes sense, not because you can see how it is going to work out, but because I am your shepherd, and I have never lost one of my sheep. You are not going to be the first. I am not going to lead you this far just to abandon you. I am not going to bring you through everything you have survived just to let you fail at the finish line. I am not going to invest this much time, this much patience, this much correction and protection and provision into your life just to walk away before the promise is fulfilled. But you have to stop taking back what you already gave me. You have to stop lying awake at night trying to solve problems that I already solved. You have to stop rehearsing worst-case scenarios in your mind, as if worrying about them will somehow prevent them. It will not. All it will do is steal your peace and drain your strength and make you so exhausted that when I do move, you do not have the energy to walk through the door I open. That is what the enemy wants. He cannot stop my plan for your life, but he can wear you out to the point where you are too tired to receive it. He can keep you spinning in confusion so that when clarity comes, you are too dizzy to recognize it. He can trap you in anxiety so that when peace arrives, you do not trust it, because you have been in panic mode for so long that chaos feels normal and rest feels wrong. I am interrupting that cycle right here. I am stepping into the spiral you have been stuck in, and I am stopping it. The thing you have been carrying, put it down. The burden you have been dragging, release it. The weight that has been crushing you, I am lifting it. Not because you finally prayed the right prayer or read the right verse or had enough faith, but because it is time. Because I have seen enough. Because I love you too much to watch you destroy yourself over something I already handled. You are not responsible for making everything work out. You are responsible for obeying me, trusting me, and following me, and I am responsible for everything else. Let me tell you what is going to happen when you actually trust me. When you stop trying to manage everything and you let me be God. You are going to feel lighter, not because your circumstances changed overnight, but because the weight you were never meant to carry is finally off your shoulders. You are going to sleep better, not because the problems disappeared, but because you are no longer lying awake trying to solve them in your head. You are going to think more clearly, not because life got less complicated, but because your mind is no longer cluttered with 1,000 what-if scenarios that may never happen. You are going to have more energy, not because the battles stopped, but because you are not fighting battles that are mine to fight. You are going to see me move in ways you have never seen before. Not because I suddenly started doing something new, but because you finally got quiet enough to notice what I have been doing all along. Trust is not a one-time decision. It is a daily, moment-by-moment choice to believe that I am good even when life is hard. To believe that I am in control even when everything feels chaotic. To believe that I have a plan even when you cannot see it. To believe that I love you even when it feels like I am silent. And every time you make that choice, every time you choose trust over fear, faith over anxiety, rest over striving, you are building something in the spiritual realm that the enemy cannot tear down. You are establishing a foundation that cannot be shaken. You are creating a history with me that becomes the proof you stand on the next time fear tries to convince you that I am not coming through. Because here is the truth. I have never failed you. Not once. Not ever. You are still here. You are still standing. You are still breathing. You made it through the thing you thought would destroy you. You survived the season you were convinced you could not survive. You came out of the pit you believed you would die in. And it was not because you are strong enough or smart enough or resilient enough. It was because I carried you. I held you together when you were falling apart. I made a way when there was no way. I provided when the resources ran out. I healed when the doctors had no answers. I restored what the enemy swore was lost forever. And I am not done. What I did before, I will do again. What I provided before, I will provide again. What I made a way through before, I will make a way through again. Because I do not change. I am the same yesterday and in the present and forever. And if I was faithful then, I will be faithful again. So this is what I am asking you to do. I am asking you to take everything you have been trying to control and physically release it. Out loud, right where you are, say my name and hand it back to me. Do not just think about it. Actually say the words. Because there is power in verbal declaration. There is authority released when you speak my name and surrender your will to mine. The enemy can hear your thoughts, but he cannot stop your declarations. He can plant doubts in your mind, but when you speak truth out loud, you are establishing it in the atmosphere around you, and he has to retreat. So, say it. Tell me what you are releasing. Tell me what you are trusting me with. Tell me what you are no longer going to try to manage on your own, and then walk away from it. Do not pick it back up in an hour. Do not revisit it. Do not check on it next week to see if I'm handling it correctly. Give it to me and leave it with me. And then, as hard as this sounds, rest. Lie down in the green pasture I have been trying to lead you to for weeks. Stop running. Stop spinning. Stop analyzing. Stop catastrophizing. Stop trying to figure out every possible outcome. Just be still. Be quiet. Be present. You are not being irresponsible. You are being obedient. You are not giving up. You are giving in. You are not quitting. You are surrendering. And there is a massive difference. Quitting is when you stop because you do not believe it is possible anymore. Surrendering is when you stop because you believe I am handling it, and you trust me more than you trust your own ability to figure it out. I know what you are afraid of. You are afraid that if you stop managing everything, it will all fall apart. You are afraid that if you rest, you will miss something important. You are afraid that if you trust me completely, I will let you down. But let me ask you this. How is the control working out for you? How is the constant vigilance serving you? How is the sleepless nights and the racing thoughts and the tight chest and the knot in your stomach helping you? It is not. It is killing you slowly. It is robbing you of the life I died to give you. It is turning you into a shadow of who I created you to be. And I am not okay with that. I did not send my son to die so you could live in bondage to fear and anxiety. I sent him so you could live in freedom, so you could walk in peace, so you could experience joy even in the middle of hard circumstances. And none of that is possible while you are white-knuckling your way through life trying to control things that were never yours to control. Here is what I want you to understand about my love for you. It is not conditional. It is not based on your performance. It is not something you have to earn or maintain or qualify for. I love you because I chose to love you. I love you because love is who I am. I love you because when I made you, I built you out of love and for love. And nothing you do or do not do will ever change that. You cannot make me love you more by being good. You cannot make me love you less by failing. My love is not a reward for obedience. It is the foundation that makes obedience possible. You do not obey me to get my love. You obey me because you have my love, and you are learning to trust that everything I ask you to do is for your good, even when it does not feel like it in the moment. So when I ask you to trust me with that situation, I am not asking you to take a blind leap and hope I catch you. I am asking you to remember every time I have already caught you. I'm asking you to look back at your life and count how many times you thought you were finished and I made a way. How many times you thought it was over and I opened a door. How many times you thought you had lost everything and I restored what the enemy stole. Your history with me is proof of your future with me. What I have done, I will do. What I have been, I will be. And if you can trust me with your eternity, if you can trust me with your salvation, if you can trust me with your soul, then you can trust me with this situation that feels so overwhelming right here. I see you. I see how hard you have been trying. I see how much you have been carrying. I see the tears you cried when no one was watching. I see the prayers you whispered in desperation. I see the times you wanted to give up, but you kept going anyway. I see the weight on your shoulders and the ache in your heart and the exhaustion in your bones. And I am not disappointed in you. I am not frustrated with you. I am not waiting for you to get it together so I can finally help you. I am right here, right in the middle of your mess, ready to carry what you were never meant to carry. But you have to let me. You have to stop pretending you are strong enough to do this alone. You have to stop acting like asking for help is weakness. The strongest thing you can do is admit you need me. The bravest thing you can do is surrender control. The wisest thing you can do is trust that I know what I am doing even when you do not. I am leading you to a place you have never been before. A place of rest that is not dependent on everything being perfect. A place of peace that exists even in the middle of chaos. A place of joy that is not based on circumstances. A place of trust that is rooted in who I am, not in what you can see. And the only way to get there is to follow me. Not to run ahead and try to figure it out. Not to lag behind because you are too afraid to move forward. But to walk with me, step by step, day by day, moment by moment. To keep your eyes on me instead of on the storm. To listen for my voice instead of the voice of fear. To believe my promises instead of the lies the enemy whispers. You are closer than you think, closer to breakthrough, closer to deliverance, closer to the manifestation of everything I have been preparing behind the scenes. But you will not see it if you are too busy spinning in confusion. You will not recognize it if you are too exhausted to lift your head. You will not receive it if your hands are full of the things you refuse to release. So let go. Let me carry it. Let me handle it. Let me work it out in a way that only I can. And while I am doing that, you rest. You trust. You worship. You thank me in advance for what I am already doing that you cannot see yet. You walk in the confidence that comes from knowing you have a shepherd who never sleeps, who never gets distracted, who never loses track of where you are or what you need. I am not asking you to understand everything. I am asking you to trust me with everything. There is a difference. Understanding requires explanation. Trust requires relationship. And I am more interested in you knowing me than in you knowing my plans. Because if you know me, truly know me, then you will trust my plans even when they do not make sense. You will follow my lead even when the path is unclear. You will rest in my promises even when the timeline is longer than you wanted. Because you will know that I am good, that I am faithful, that I am for you, and that I finish what I start. So here's my promise to you, the one I need you to hold on to when everything in you wants to panic. I will not let you fall. I will not let you fail. I will not let the enemy have the last word over your life. You are going to make it through this season. You are going to see the promises fulfilled. You are going to walk in the blessing I have been preparing. You are going to step into the purpose I created you for. You are going to experience the fullness of life that I came to give you. Not because you earned it, not because you figured it out, but because I said so, and my word does not return void. What I have spoken over you will come to pass. What I have promised you will be fulfilled. What I have started in you will be completed. And nothing, absolutely nothing, in heaven or on earth or under the earth, can stop what I have decreed. So stop fighting me. Stop resisting the rest I am offering you. Stop arguing with the peace I am trying to give you. Stop rejecting the provision I have already released. Just receive it. Open your hands. Open your heart. Open your mind. Let me love you the way you need to be loved. Let me lead you the way you need to be led. Let me provide for you the way you need to be provided for. Let me be God in your life, not just in theory, but in practice. Not just when life is easy, but especially when life is hard. Because that is when you need me most. That is when my presence makes the most difference. That is when trust becomes more than a concept and turns into a lifeline. I am holding you even when you do not feel me. I am carrying you even when you think you are walking alone. I am working even when everything looks stagnant. I am moving even when it feels like nothing is changing. I am answering even when it seems like I am silent. And one day, sooner than you think, you are going to look back at this season, and you are going to see my fingerprints all over it. You are going to see how I was protecting you from things you did not even know were threats. You are going to see how I was positioning you for opportunities you did not know were coming. You are going to see how I was preparing you for a level you were not ready for yet. And you are going to weep at the goodness of a God who loved you enough to make you wait, to make you trust, to make you lie down in green pastures when all you wanted to do was run. Trust me. Not halfway, not with conditions, not with backup plans in case I do not come through. Trust me completely. Trust me fully. Trust me with everything. Because I am trustworthy. I have proven it over and over again throughout history. I have proven it in your own life, and I will prove it again in the situation you are facing. You are not going to walk through this alone. You are not going to figure it out on your own. You are not going to survive by your own strength. You are going to experience, in a way you have never experienced before, what it means to have a shepherd who leads you, protects you, provides for you, and never lets you go. And it is going to change you. It is going to change how you see me. It is going to change how you see yourself. It is going to change how you walk through every season that comes after this one. Because once you learn to trust me in the valley, once you learn to rest in the storm, once you learn to surrender control and watch me work, you will never go back to the old way of striving and stressing and trying to manage everything on your own. So this is it. This is the moment. This is where you decide. Are you going to keep carrying what I have already taken? Are you going to keep spinning in confusion when I am offering you clarity? Are you going to keep exhausting yourself when I am inviting you to rest? The choice is yours. I will not force you. I will not manipulate you, but I will tell you the truth. And the truth is that you were never meant to do life alone. You were never meant to carry burdens that only I can carry. You were never meant to navigate storms without a guide. You were designed to walk with me, to depend on me, to trust me with everything that matters. And the moment you do, the moment you truly release control and let me be God, everything changes. Not necessarily your circumstances, but you, your perspective, your peace, your strength, your hope, and that changes everything. I love you, not because of what you do, but because of who you are. You are mine. You are my child. You are the one I gave everything for, the one I pursued when you were running, the one I fought for when you were surrounded, the one I healed when you were broken, the one I restored when you were lost. And I am not done with you. I am not finished. I am not giving up, and neither should you. So take my hand, follow my lead, trust my heart, and let me show you what happens when you finally stop trying to be your own shepherd and you let me do what I do best. Lead you, protect you, provide for you, love you, keep you, hold you, and bring you safely home. When I tell you to rest, when I call you to stop spinning in circles of worry, when I ask you to release control, I am not asking you to become passive. I am inviting you into the most powerful position you could ever occupy. The position of trust, the position of surrender, the position where you are so confident in who I am that you stop trying to manipulate outcomes and you start receiving what I am freely giving. This is where miracles happen. This is where breakthrough comes. This is where provision appears from places you never expected. This is where peace floods in like a river. This is where joy rises up from deep wells inside you that circumstances cannot touch. This is where strength renews itself even when you are tired. This is where hope springs eternal even when everything around you screams that hope is foolish. There is a table prepared for you, not in some distant future when everything finally works out. Not in heaven after you die. Right here, in this moment, in the middle of whatever battle you are facing, in the presence of whatever enemies have been coming against you. I have spread a feast. I have set a place for you. I have pulled out the chair and I am inviting you to sit down and eat, to receive, to be nourished, to be satisfied, to be filled. And while you are eating at my table, while you are fellowshipping with me, while you are receiving from me, your enemies will watch. They will see that they have no power over you. They will realize that their threats are empty. They will understand that you are under my protection and my provision, and there is nothing they can do to stop what I have determined for your life. The oil I have poured over you is not a symbol. It is a reality. It is the anointing of my Spirit. It is the empowerment to do what you could never do in your own strength. It is the grace that enables you to walk through fire without being burned. It is the favor that opens doors no human hand could unlock. It is the wisdom that speaks truth in moments when you have no idea what to say. It is the courage that stands firm when everything in you wants to run. It is the love that pours out of you even when you feel empty. This anointing is not something you work up. It is something you receive. It flows when you stop striving and start trusting. It increases when you stop trying to prove yourself and start resting in who I say you are. It multiplies when you stop looking at your inadequacy and start looking at my sufficiency. Your cup is not just full. It is overflowing. That overflow is not for you to store up. It is for you to pour out. It is for the people around you who are dying of thirst. It is for the ones who have been drinking from broken cisterns that hold no water. It is for those who have been trying to satisfy soul-deep needs with temporary fixes that leave them more empty than before. When your cup overflows, when you receive more than you need, it is so you can become a source of life to others. It is so you can give from abundance instead of giving from lack. It is so you can bless from overflow instead of blessing from depletion. And the beautiful thing about overflow is that the more you give away, the more I pour in. The source never runs dry. The supply never stops. The provision never ends. Because I am infinite and my resources are unlimited and my generosity knows no bounds. Goodness and mercy are not waiting for you at the end of your life. They are following you through every moment of it. They are active participants in your journey. They are pursuing you with relentless love. They are chasing you down even when you are running in the wrong direction. They are present even when you cannot feel them. They are working even when you cannot see them. They are speaking even when you cannot hear them. And one day, when you look back at your life, when you see the full picture, when you understand how all the pieces fit together, you will see their footprints everywhere. You will recognize their fingerprints on every provision. You will hear their voice in every redirection. You will feel their presence in every moment of protection. And you will fall on your face in worship because you will finally understand the depth of love that has been following you your entire life. The house of the Lord is not a building made of stone and wood. It is not a location you visit once a week. It is not a structure confined to geography. The house of the Lord is the presence of God, and you have been invited to dwell there, to make your home there, to live there permanently, not as a visitor, not as a guest, but as a family member, as a child of the King, as an heir to the kingdom. This is your birthright. This is your inheritance. This is what was purchased for you at the cross. Permanent, eternal, unbreakable access to the presence of God. You do not have to earn it. You do not have to qualify for it. You do not have to maintain it through perfect behavior. It is yours because you are mine, and nothing can separate you from my love. Nothing can remove you from my presence. Nothing can evict you from my house. You are home forever. So when that fear rises up in the middle of the night, when that anxiety grips your chest, when that worry starts spinning in your mind, remember where you live. Remember whose you are. Remember who is with you. Remember what has been promised. Remember what has been secured. Remember what cannot be shaken. Remember that you have a shepherd who never sleeps. Remember that you have a father who never abandons his children. Remember that you have a Savior who conquered death so you could have life. Remember that you have a comforter who stands with you in every trial. Remember that you have a provider who owns everything and lacks nothing. Remember that you have a protector who stands between you and every threat. Remember that you have a guide who knows every step of the path. Remember that you have a healer who can restore what was broken. Remember that you have a redeemer who specializes in turning messes into miracles. This is not positive thinking. This is not denial of reality. This is not pretending problems do not exist. This is anchoring yourself in truth that is more real than what your eyes can see. This is standing on promises that are more solid than the ground beneath your feet. This is choosing to believe what God has said over what circumstances are screaming. This is exercising faith that moves mountains instead of faith that is moved by mountains. This is trusting the one who created the universe with your situation that feels overwhelming. This is believing that the God who spoke everything into existence can speak a word into your chaos and bring order. This is resting in the reality that nothing is too hard for me. Nothing is impossible for me. Nothing is beyond my ability to fix or restore or redeem or transform. I am saturating your soul with my divine love. I am filling every empty place with my holy tenderness. I am speaking life into every dead area. I am bringing light into every dark corner. I am washing away every stain. I am healing every wound. I am mending every broken place. I am restoring every lost thing. I am rebuilding every demolished wall. I am renewing every depleted resource. I am refreshing every tired part of you. I am reviving every dream that felt dead. I am reigniting every passion that felt extinguished. I am rekindling every hope that felt lost. I am reawakening every calling that felt buried. I am doing all of this not because you earned it, not because you deserve it, not because you are good enough, but because I love you and you are mine, and that is what I do for my children. You will stand firm. Not because you are strong, but because I am holding you up. Not because you have it all figured out, but because I am guiding every step. Not because you are capable, but because my strength is made perfect in your weakness. Not because you are brave, but because my presence casts out fear. Not because you are wise, but because I give you wisdom that confounds the wise. Not because you are powerful, but because my power works through your weakness. You will stand. You will not fall. You will not fail. You will not be overcome. You will not be defeated. You will not be destroyed, because I have decreed it, and what I have spoken will come to pass, and no power in heaven or earth or hell can change what I have determined. Do not be afraid. Do not let fear grip your heart. Do not allow anxiety to steal your peace. Do not permit worry to rob your joy. Do not give the enemy access to your mind through tormenting thoughts. Do not surrender to despair when circumstances look dark. Do not lose hope when the answer is delayed. Do not quit when the journey is hard. Do not give up when the breakthrough is close. Do not stop when you are tired. Do not retreat when you should advance. Do not shrink back when you should step forward. Do not hide when you should shine. Do not stay silent when you should speak. Do not doubt when you should believe. Do not fear when you should trust. I am with you. That is not a nice sentiment. It is a powerful reality. My presence changes everything. Where I am, darkness flees. Where I am, fear has no power. Where I am, death has no sting. Where I am, the impossible becomes possible. Where I am, the broken becomes whole. Where I am, the lost becomes found. Where I am, the dead comes to life. Where I am, hope rises. Where I am, joy springs up. Where I am, peace settles. Where I am, love flows. Where I am, grace abounds. Where I am, mercy triumphs. Where I am, righteousness reigns. And I am with you, always, in every moment, through every circumstance, in every season, through every storm, in every valley, on every mountain, through every trial, in every victory. I am with you, and I will never leave you. Let me speak specifically to this pattern you have developed. The pattern of spinning in circles. The pattern of mental gymnastics that leave you exhausted without producing solutions. You know the pattern I am talking about. You lie down intending to rest, but within minutes your mind is racing. You start with one concern, and that concern branches into 5 more possibilities. Those 5 possibilities each split into worst-case scenarios. Before you know it, you have mentally lived through 17 different versions of disaster, none of which have happened, most of which never will happen. And you are lying there with your heart pounding, your chest tight, your breathing shallow, completely drained from battles that only exist in your imagination. This spinning, this circular thinking, this obsessive replaying of scenarios, it is not wisdom. It is not preparedness. It is not responsibility. It is torment. And I did not design your mind to function this way. I created your mind to be renewed by my word, to be filled with my thoughts, to be at peace in my presence. When your mind spins in chaos, when it circles the same mountain of worry over and over without resolution, when it exhausts itself analyzing problems from every conceivable angle, that is not you being thoughtful. That is the enemy keeping you trapped in a prison of your own thoughts. He knows that if he can keep you mentally exhausted, if he can drain your energy through endless what-if scenarios, he does not need to attack you directly. You will wear yourself out fighting shadows. I am calling you out of that spiral. I am commanding that pattern to break in my name. The cycle of worry that has been stealing your sleep, draining your energy, robbing your peace, poisoning your joy. I am interrupting it right here, right in this moment. I am stepping into the spinning and I am bringing it to a complete stop. Not because you finally learned the secret to controlling your thoughts, not because you mastered some meditation technique, but because I am God and I have authority over every thought that rises up against my truth. And when I speak peace, peace comes. When I command the storm in your mind to be still, it has no choice but to obey. But here is what you need to understand. The peace I am offering, the rest I am inviting you into, it is not passive. It is not the absence of activity. It is not laziness dressed up in spiritual language. Rest in my kingdom is active trust. It is aggressive faith. It is choosing moment by moment, thought by thought, to release what you cannot control and receive what I am providing. True rest does not mean you stop doing your part. It means you stop trying to do my part. You work diligently at what I have assigned to you. You steward wisely what I have placed in your hands. You obey faithfully what I have clearly instructed. And then you release the outcomes to me. You let go of the results. You surrender the timing. You trust that I am working in dimensions you cannot see, arranging circumstances you cannot control, moving pieces you are not even aware exist. This is what I meant when I said, you shall not want, you shall not lack, you shall not go without. Not because you have mastered the art of manifestation, not because you discovered some secret formula, not because you learned to manipulate spiritual principles to get what you want. You shall not want because I am your shepherd, and a good shepherd makes sure his sheep have everything they need. The sheep do not spend their days worrying about where the next meal is coming from. They do not lie awake at night analyzing the shepherd's provision strategy. They do not form committees to discuss whether the shepherd can be trusted. They simply follow, they trust, they rest, and they are fed. I am feeding you right here, even in this moment, even in this season that feels uncertain. I am nourishing your soul with truth that will sustain you long after this message ends. I am satisfying the deep hunger in you that circumstances could never fill. I am quenching the thirst that achievements could never satisfy. I am providing for needs you have not even identified yet because I see further ahead than you do. I know what is coming around the corner. I understand what you are going to need 3 months from ahead, 6 months from ahead, a year from ahead, and I am already preparing provision that will be there waiting for you when you arrive at that moment. This is what it means to walk by faith and not by sight. It means you keep walking even when you cannot see the provision yet. It means you keep trusting even when the bank account is low. It means you keep believing even when the diagnosis is bad. It means you keep following even when the path does not make logical sense. Because you are not following logic, you are following me. And I do not operate according to natural limitations. I am not bound by human systems. I am not restricted by economic principles. I am the God who fed a multitude with a little boy's lunch. I am the God who made water come from a rock in the desert. I am the God who sent ravens to feed a prophet. I am the God who multiplied oil that would not run out. I am the God who rained bread from heaven, and I have not changed. My nature has not diminished. My power has not faded. My willingness to provide for my children has not lessened. So when I tell you to stop worrying about what you have already placed in my hands, I am not being insensitive to your legitimate concerns. I am not dismissing real problems. I am not minimizing genuine challenges. I am telling you that your worry adds nothing to the solution. Your anxiety does not improve the outcome. Your sleepless nights do not accelerate my timing. What they do is drain you of the strength you need to walk through what I am asking you to walk through. What they do is cloud your judgment when I'm trying to give you clarity. What they do is make you so desperate for relief that you are tempted to settle for quick fixes that will create long-term problems. I am asking you to trust me with the timing as much as you trust me with the outcome. This is where most of my children struggle. They believe I can do the miracle. They just do not understand why I have not done it yet. They trust that I am able. They are just not sure if I am willing. They know I am powerful. They are just not convinced that I care about their specific situation. But let me settle this once and for all. I am able. I am willing. I do care. And my timing is perfect even when it feels delayed. What you call a delay, I call preparation. What you call waiting, I call positioning. What you call silence, I call setup. I am working on multiple levels simultaneously. I am not just addressing the problem you can see. I am dealing with root issues you do not even know exist. I am not just providing for your immediate need. I am setting up provision for needs you are going to have in the future. I am not just opening one door. I am closing doors that would have led you away from my best for you. Your soul is being satisfied right here. Not with superficial comfort, not with temporary relief, but with deep, lasting, transforming encounters with my presence. Every time you choose to trust me instead of spinning in worry, something shifts in your spirit. Every time you release control and rest in my sovereignty, you are strengthened at a level that circumstances cannot touch. Every time you speak my promises out loud in defiance of what you can see with your eyes, you are building spiritual muscle that will serve you for the rest of your life. This is not wasted time. This is not pointless suffering. This is the process by which sheep become shepherds, by which followers become leaders, by which believers become warriors. I am saturating your soul with my divine love and my holy tenderness. These are not abstract concepts. This is tangible reality. My love is not a theory. It is a force. It is active. It is pursuing. It is relentless. It is patient. It is kind. It does not envy. It does not boast. It is not proud. It does not dishonor. It does not seek its own. It is not easily angered. It keeps no record of wrongs. It does not delight in evil but rejoices with truth. It always protects, always trusts, always hopes, always perseveres. This love never fails. Never. Not sometimes. Not usually. Never. And this is the love that is poured out on you, into you, over you, around you, constantly, eternally, unchangingly. My holy tenderness is the way I handle your wounds. I do not rip off bandages carelessly. I do not prod at injuries unnecessarily. I do not shame you for being hurt. I gently, patiently, tenderly clean out the infection of bitterness. I carefully apply the oil of my spirit to bring healing. I wrap you in the gauze of my grace. I protect the wounded area while it heals. I check on you constantly. I adjust the bandage when needed. I speak words of life over the pain. I sit with you in the middle of the night when the ache keeps you awake. I do not rush your healing. I do not compare your recovery time to someone else's. I tend to you with the care of a father who loves his child more than life itself. This tenderness, this gentle care, this patient attention, it is not weakness. It is strength under control. It is power exercised with precision. It is the same hand that spoke galaxies into existence, that holds stars in place, that commands the seas to stop at the shore, that raises the dead to life, gently wiping away your tears. The same voice that spoke and darkness fled, that rebuked storms and they obeyed, that called Lazarus out of the tomb, whispers words of comfort over your broken heart. This is who I am. This is how I love. This is what you mean to me. You will not spin out of control because I have you. You will not lose your way because I am guiding you. You will not run out because I am supplying you. You will not break because I am holding you together. You will not fall because I am upholding you. You will not fail because I am completing the work I started in you. Every promise I have made to you will come to pass. Every word I have spoken over you will be fulfilled. Every vision I have given you will manifest. Not because you are perfect, not because you have it all figured out, but because I am faithful. And what I start, I finish. So right here, in this exact moment, I am inviting you to step out of the confusion. Stop trying to figure out what only I can reveal. Stop attempting to solve what only I can resolve. Stop carrying what only I can bear. Open your hands, unclench your fists, release your grip on the situation that has been consuming your thoughts. Say my name out loud and verbally hand it back to me. Tell me specifically what you are surrendering. Speak it into the atmosphere. Declare that you are no longer going to manage this on your own. And then, as difficult as this is, walk away from it mentally. Every time your mind tries to grab it back, every time fear tries to convince you that you need to maintain control, every time anxiety whispers that something terrible will happen if you are not vigilant, bring your thoughts captive to the obedience of Christ. Speak truth out loud. Remind yourself of my character. Remember my track record. Count your history with me. I have been faithful before. I will be faithful again. I provided before. I will provide again. I delivered before. I will deliver again. I healed before. I will heal again. I restored before. I will restore again. I made a way before. I will make a way again. I am the same God who parted the Red Sea. I am the same God who brought water from a rock. I am the same God who made the sun stand still. I am the same God who shut the mouths of lions. I am the same God who brought fire from heaven. I am the same God who healed the sick, raised the dead, cast out demons, calmed storms, walked on water, turned water into wine, multiplied loaves and fishes, restored sight to the blind, made the lame walk, cleansed lepers, and conquered death itself. I am that God, and I am your God, and I am with you, and I will never leave you, and I will never fail you, and you are going to make it through this, not barely, not broken, but strong, whole, victorious, filled with testimony, walking in new levels of authority, carrying fresh revelation, living in deeper dimensions of trust, because that is what I do. I take impossible situations and I turn them into testimonies. I take messes and I turn them into messages. I take pain and I turn it into purpose. I take what the enemy meant for harm and I use it for good. Nothing you are facing is wasted. Nothing is meaningless. Nothing is without purpose. Even the hard things, especially the hard things. The valley is not pointless. It is producing something in you that could never be developed on the mountaintop. The waiting is not empty. It is forming character that will sustain you when the promise comes. The struggle is not arbitrary. It is strengthening muscles you are going to need for the next level. Trust the process. Trust my timing. Trust my methods. Trust my heart. I know what I am doing. I see the end from the beginning. I understand how all the pieces fit together, and I am working everything, absolutely everything together for your good. Not just the good things, not just the easy things. Everything, the pain, the disappointment, the betrayal, the loss, the delay, the closed door, the unanswered prayer, the confusion, the struggle, all of it, every single piece. I am weaving it all together into a tapestry that will display my glory and tell the story of my faithfulness. So rest. Truly rest. Not fake rest where your body is still, but your mind is racing. Real rest. The kind of rest that comes from deep, unshakable trust. The kind of rest that sleeps soundly because it knows who is keeping watch. The kind of rest that breathes deeply because it is not carrying weight it was never meant to carry. The kind of rest that smiles in the middle of storms because it knows who controls the wind. This rest is available right at this moment. Not someday when everything is perfect. Not eventually, when you finally figure it all out. In this moment, in the middle of whatever you are facing, you can rest, you can breathe, you can release, you can trust, you can let go, you can surrender, you can stop striving, you can cease from the exhausting work of trying to be God in your own life. Let me paint you a picture of what trust looks like in practical terms. It looks like you're going to sleep at a reasonable hour instead of staying up until exhaustion forces you to rest. It looks like you eating meals without your stomach in knots. It looks like you having conversations without mentally rehearsing worst-case outcomes. It looks like you making decisions based on my leading instead of based on fear of what might go wrong. It looks like you investing in relationships without constantly bracing for betrayal. It looks like you pursuing dreams without the paralysis of perfectionism. It looks like you showing up fully in your life instead of holding back because you are afraid of more loss. Trust is not a feeling you wait to have. Trust is a series of choices you make every single day, and each choice matters. Each moment when you choose to believe my word over your worry, you are training your spirit to default to faith instead of fear. Each time you speak truth out loud when anxiety tries to drown you, you are building neural pathways of trust. Each instance when you release control and watch me come through, you are creating evidence that becomes unshakable foundation for the next test. You are not just surviving this season, you are being transformed by it. You are not just enduring this process, you are being upgraded through it. The you that emerges from this valley will not be the same you that entered it. You will be stronger, wiser, more grounded, more confident in me, more aware of my faithfulness, more convinced of my goodness, more certain of my love. And that transformation, that metamorphosis, that complete renovation of how you see me and how you see yourself, that is worth everything you are walking through right here. The caterpillar does not understand the cocoon. It just knows it is dark and confining and uncomfortable. But the butterfly that emerges understands that the struggle to break free was necessary to develop the strength to fly. You are in the cocoon. I am doing surgery on your soul. I am rewiring your thought patterns. I am healing wounds you did not know you had. I am preparing you for levels of blessing you are not ready for yet. And when you emerge, when this season ends and you step into what I have been preparing, you will look back and understand why the process had to be exactly what it was. You will see my wisdom in the timing. You will recognize my protection in the closed doors. You will appreciate my faithfulness in the delays. You will worship me for loving you enough to make you wait until you are truly ready. I am God. You are not. And that is the best news you could ever hear. Because it means the responsibility for making everything work out does not rest on your shoulders. It rests on mine. And my shoulders are big enough. My strength is sufficient. My wisdom is perfect. My love is unfailing. My faithfulness is eternal. I will not let you down. I will not drop you. I will not abandon you mid-process. I will not forget about you. I will not change my mind about you. I will not give up on you. I am committed to you for the long haul. I am in this with you until the very end and beyond. Forever and ever and ever. You are mine. I am yours. And nothing, absolutely nothing, can change that. Amen. If this message touched your heart, share it with someone who needs to hear these words. Type Amen in the comments to receive this blessing. Subscribe to this channel so you never miss a message that God has specifically for you. He is speaking, and this is just the beginning of what He wants to say to your heart. Let this truth sink deep into your spirit. You are not alone. You are not forgotten. You are not abandoned. You are seen, known, loved, and held by the one who will never let you go. And that changes everything.